Have you been living in the United States for a while and you're not from this country, but you'd like to finally become a citizen of this country? I think I can help you. My name is Edgar Montoya, and I'm the host of the Language Cafe. I teach English. I teach ESL. That's English as a second language, to those of you who don't know what that means. I work specifically with students from other countries. I have a lot of Latino students right now. Traditionally, I've had a lot of Asian, a lot of Japanese students. I want to talk to you a little bit today about helping, more specifically, preparing your English for the citizenship test if you wish to take this test. I'd like to take you now to explain a little bit, to introduce you. If you haven't been there, maybe you haven't looked at it at all, into the website that helps you that for all these questions. Hold on here. It takes a while sometimes when you want to get that. Just a moment here. Okay, let me see. Okay, oops. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is called, the form is called the N400, Application for Naturalization. Maybe you see me frozen there, but I'm talking as long as you can still hear me. The website is technically the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services Department. Okay. So when you go to this site, put my glasses on to help you a little bit. Okay, let me show you this to you. There's a little bit, you can become familiar on this first page. It talks you on online filing benefits. It gives you some details, answers questions, when to file, where to file, filing fee, things that you need to know. If you haven't been to this site yet, go there and check it out for a while thoroughly. But I want to talk to you about the part that I can help you with. From here, we would go to, I want to take you to citizenship. Area of citizenship, about the test. Okay. Naturalization test and study resources. I go here on the left and I click there. And then from there, I would go to, here you will see something, the study for the test, 2008 civics test. And there's a test they're redesigning and redeveloping for 2022. Okay, so trying out some new things, but technically we work with a study for the test, talking about civics questions I could help you with. I want to talk about this. Okay. I've done a version of this video so far in Spanish. You can find it on my channel on the Language Cafe. I want to talk now to those of you who speak English who are not from Spanish-speaking countries. I would prefer to hear me speak in English. You are from Spanish-speaking countries, but you want to prefer to hear me talk in English. Maybe from Europe, from Africa, part of Asia. And I've had a lot of experience with Asian students. Okay, so here's study for the test, 2008 version. I want to go down to these questions here, down a list where you had like 100 civics questions. Okay, civics had to do basically with government, the study of government, okay, and your form of government. As we talk about the House and the Senate, Congress. 100 civics questions and answers. Large print, you can read through this. They have it in Arabic and Chinese and Korean, other languages you could probably see in Spanish, in Tagalog. I recommend you want to study in English. And as an English teacher, I want to push you. I'd like to recommend that you concentrate in English, especially if you're going to be an American citizen, to learn, to practice, I encourage you to study English, learn it. I've known Latinos specifically who've been in this country for years, and there's other ethnicities too, but they come and they kind of like, they never really want to learn English. They don't want to make the attempt and try, and they stay in television and news and newspapers, the internet of their language, and they may stay there for many years. But I recommend, and I could help you with that. As an English teacher, I like to touch on so many different areas, so many different subjects. Honestly, I'm not your typical English teacher. I'm not like your straight grammar guy. Go to the book, although I can be very academic. Okay, I can go to the book. We can be, as we say, by the book. Okay. But I've helped people with more English, more practical English every day, English for the workplace, cultural English, reading music lyrics, preparing speeches that they have to make, um, helping them with emails to write them out and to answer emails, all kinds of stuff, including one young lady from Japan who I worked with her for a couple of years, for 3 years, on an American novel, or a British novel, Charles Dickens, A Tale of Two Cities. We had a great experience and explained the vocabulary to her, talking about it. So it's could be a very informal study of English, but specifically, but this is kind of not so informal, the study of preparation for the citizenship test. It is the requirement that you learn basically 100 questions, and the examiner may ask you up to 10 questions. So it's going to take a while to study them, to understand, to know. And history and social studies, government is my area. It's always been my specialty. Okay, when I talk about English, it breaks down to, I would say that's my specialty. I love history, I love politics, I love current events. I can really help you with this. Okay, so I want to go now to right here, which is 100 civics questions and answers, large print. Okay, now for the test, before we get to the questions part, I won't cover all 100 questions here. I just want to introduce you to them. If you have never been here before, to the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services page, or no, you can Google just N400 and it will take you to this page, to that website. You also have to be ready to just answer some questions. They may ask you, do you have children? Tell me about your son. Is it, where do you live? I've heard some examiners ask more general, those basic small talk questions than other examiners do. Things about everyday life. They may ask you, where do you work? What do you do there? Okay. And then they may ask you, they will ask you to write something, and you have to write in correct English. I can help you with your written English as well. Okay. So oral English, written English, your listening skill. Okay, let me read these 2 paragraphs for you so you understand basically about the civics questions and answers. Civics, again, has to do with government. The 100 civics, history, and government questions and answers for the naturalization test are listed below. The civics test is an oral test. They will ask you orally the questions, and the USCIS officer will ask the applicant up to 10 of the 100 civics questions. That means they really won't ask you more than 10, but they can ask you up to 10 questions. An applicant must answer 6 out of the 10 questions correctly to pass the civics portion of the naturalization test. He may ask you just 6, or like say 60%. You've got to pass, get 4 of the questions right. Depends a lot on the examiner. I've had some people said, oh, I've had some of you examine me very easy, just ask me 3 questions, have me write something. They say, welcome to the United States. So you want to hear that, welcome to the United States, and welcome to citizenship in the United States. Some of you have been here many years. On the second paragraph, on the naturalization test, some answers may change because of elections or appointments. As you study for the test, make sure that you know the most current answers to these questions. Answer these questions with the name of the official who is serving at the time of your eligibility interview, the USCIS. The USCIS officer will not accept an incorrect answer. So that means the parts where you ask you about those questions, like who's your representative? What district are you in? You may need to know. Like, for example, me, I live in the 43rd District of California. My representative, although I don't care for her much, is Maxine Waters. So you need to know, you don't look at all for information. Make sure that you look for that information. It's up to date. I find the most recent. You may ask a neighbor or somebody to help you. Who's your representative? Okay. Who are your 2 senators of your state, wherever you may be. Okay. So next part. Okay, so now let me give you a few of the sample questions. Okay, I'll skip that next part. Okay, if you say here, it says if you're 65 or older and have been legal permanent resident in the United States for more than 20 years, you may just have to answer questions that have a certain asterisk to them, certain marked special questions. But one thing you've got to know for sure, let me do a few of these. Like, what's the supreme law of the land? Right? That means the highest law of the land, about the land that trumps all laws, basically. It comes down to the law that decides a case, a situation that you're in, or the legality of something. It is the Constitution and how the judges interpret that Constitution. That's very controversial nowadays. You have judges to see who are very conservative in thinking, others liberal, and how do they interpret the Constitution. You go to another basic one. What is an amendment to the Constitution? You have to know the first 10 amendments are called the Bill of Rights. Okay, the Bill of Rights talk about the freedom of speech. Okay, the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. Okay, First Amendment includes like the freedom of religion. Okay, freedom of expression. What is an amendment? It's a change to the Constitution. Okay, for those of you who speak Spanish, it's enmienda in Spanish. It's an amendment, in addition or a change to something. Something's canceled out. Okay, such as when there was an amendment that outlawed many decades ago, alcohol, but then there was an amendment that repealed that, got rid of that. Additions to the Constitution, which is the case with most amendments. There's additions. Okay, as I said here, the first 10 amendments are Constitution. They are called the Bill of Rights. Okay, I love this stuff. I'm very interested. I could help you explain more in detail and help you understand, help you to remember. Okay. What are two rights in the Declaration of Independence? Okay, Thomas Jefferson wrote here at the beginning, he said, we have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Pursuit of happiness is going after happiness, seeking your happiness. Another one may be, what does the rule of law mean? It means everyone must follow the law. Leaders even must obey the law. They don't always do, but they must obey the law technically, right? Government must obey the law. No one is above the law. You will hear that a lot, generally, that phrase. No one is above the law. Okay. The executive branch is known as the branch that's headed up by the president. There's a legislative branch, the House and the Senate make up the Congress. Okay. The judicial branch, the branch of judges, okay, of courts that decide cases and interpret law, and that is headed up by the Supreme Court of the United States. Okay, I just wanted to show you that a little bit. I want to explain, like I said, I love this subject. And I'd like to help you in your study of English, more specifically, if you wish to study for citizenship. I'm ready to help you with getting you ready and explaining those questions to you. A lot of this, they even tell you there's study material on there. You can study by yourself. But some people are not very good at studying by themselves. They wish somebody to drill them, to help them, to quiz them, to keep them honest, to get them encouraged, and a partner to study. I'd like to be that partner for you, to help you, help explain things to you, right? And also there's a certain vocabulary. You'll find there a list of vocabulary for the speaking and writing that they will teach you, that say that you need to know, that it's good to know. And we can work in vocabulary as well. Can help you with writing if you need work in your writing, because you have to do a sentence or two of that. They ask you a question, you have to answer it in writing. Okay. So down below in the description, I'm going to leave my email address. You can contact me, you can contact me if you wish to take a study in preparation for citizenship, U.S. citizenship with me, or you just want to study English, or you just want to talk about history, or you want to read a novel together. Okay. I'd love to be your English teacher. And if you pass, I'd love to help you pass that test. And I'd be the first to tell you, oh, welcome to America, fellow citizen. We have our problems, but it's still the greatest country on earth. I think if you wish to become a citizen, that you'll feel that way too. Once again, I'm Edgar Montoya for the Language Cafe. I hope you would subscribe. This channel covers a lot of different topics. I'm looking for everything from politics to culture, to history, to news, controversial issues, culture, cuisine. I'm looking for other topics to cover, so I'm open to ideas. Subscribe, give me a like, leave a comment, and thanks so much once again, and hope to see you in my class or on one of my videos, leaving a comment. I'd love to talk with you. Thank you, and bye for now. Bye-bye.